First one. Okay, so the first one, and this is again, these are the questions that were submitted. If I want to
Yeah.
improve my current marketing strategy, where do I start?
Yeah. So you start by calling a timeout in your life and getting a legal pad and a piece of paper and asking yourself, do I really like my life right now? Are there, and I'm not just talking about the business, my life. And what parts of my life would I like to change? Would I like to get home in time for dinner? Would I like to get to more of my kids' games? Would I like to not be in Saturdays and Sundays? And let's write that down, and let's craft in writing what your perfect, beautiful life would look like. Some people listen to this and go, well, that sounds like BS. It's impossible. It's not. Again, hundreds of lawyers have gone through this practice, this type of thinking. Next is look at your practice. Is it what you want? All right. Do you have too many bad cases in there? Well, let's stop taking the bad cases. Look at how you're spending money to get cases. Do you know that for every dollar you send out, you're getting 5 back or 10 back? Or do you just not know at all? Or is it all just being wasted away? Let's eliminate the bad spend. We're really good at helping lawyers look at these first 2 questions and just start knocking stuff out that isn't congruent with a better life and a better practice. So now we've spent no money, but we've usually saved a bunch of money. Next, we have lawyers craft their what we call the avatar client. And when I first started thinking about this and getting introduced, I thought that was BS. I thought personal injury cases, you kind of take them as you get them. Anybody can get hit by a car or a truck. But it's not true. There are certain clients that you and your team really like to see walking in the door. And there's certain clients it's making your team miserable and making you miserable. Well, they have profiles. So we start by not letting the bad ones in the door. Oh, but Ben, if I don't take those bad cases, I can't keep the lights on. Your hours spent working with a bad case and the money you spend and the horror that it is for your employees are really costing you a lot of money. And so my view is you take those hours and you go and you study some of this stuff that we're talking about here. You seek out some of the real thought leaders there. That's where you start. And I didn't say anything about buying pay-per-click, changing your website, getting a video, running a different type of ad. I'm thinking this is a fundamental thinking that starts. And most lawyers just skip over it. They've either never been introduced to it or they think it's not valuable. Because it's only when you know the answer to those 3 questions, my life, my practice, and my avatar client, that you can now start to produce something into the world that attracts that client that will feed the perfect practice and feed your lifestyle. And and it doesn't matter what practice area is, because we work with lawyers across all different practice areas, including so-called B2B lawyers. And this is where the best ones begin. So real quickly, then, once you do that, you create advertising that's different, advertising that helps that avatar client, doesn't talk about you. So I can be, lawyer number 1,000,004,073 that says I'm great, I'm aggressive, and no fee of no recovery. I could choose to do that. That's a very competitive space to be. Or I can be the lawyer that says, if you've been hurt in an accident, you may not need a lawyer, but before you talk to the adjuster or hire an attorney or sign any forms, just get our free information. Let's start a conversation. So we call that creating lead generation pieces that are designed to attract your avatar client and repel someone who's not good for you. So the guy wants $1 million for his no impact accident that happened yesterday. Our advertising says, no, not here. And then you want to fix you want to make sure all your leads are being captured. There's a lot of technology that helps with that. You want to make sure your phones are answered right. You want to make sure that leads are followed up on, both live person follow-up, but also technological follow-up. Most of our best clients in the personal injury world sign contracts with us anywhere from 6 to 12 months, Michael, 6 to 12 months after they've entered our ecosystem, where most lawyers believe if he didn't sign up for me today, he must have signed up with somebody else. It's simply not true, okay? That's how you start to improve this deal.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad you touched on that, because the reality is if you don't know where you want to go, it's very difficult to get there. And having that clarity and alignment, I mean, I know it, and again, I think sometimes the information makes more sense when you're ready to hear it, because there may be
Yes.
people that are watching and they're thinking, you know what, that's nice, right? The mindset stuff is nice, writing down the avatars is nice, but I need more cases. I need the phone ring today. So should I do pay per click, or should or something else? But I'm telling you, there's no shortcuts to this stuff, and the sooner that you address these things, the sooner you actually get there.
You can't get to a different place by simply repeating what you've done in the past to get you to this place. So if you're not happy with where you are, you look at all of those things I've done, right? Getting leads, buying pay-per-click, all of which probably have a place. But you got to change. You got to change what you've done if you want to be in a different place. And look, I'm not saying this is easy, look, because it's not a one-step solution. But I can promise you that the lawyers who understand the thinking behind this and who will take the time to now craft out these steps. Again, it's not 1, 2, 3. It's like 1, 2, 103. You will build a system in your practice that will provide more leads than you can ever handle, and that's where you want to be. You want to be in the position of Mark Breyer, who spoke for me at the conference, is a fantastic personal injury attorney out in Arizona. They accept like 3% of their leads. So most lawyers are saying, well, 3% conversion rate, that's horrible. No, no, no. The guy does better than anybody because his marketing drives so many leads down through his funnel.